Hey, it's Mr. Gaskell here for another update on the garden. We're gonna look at the watermelons and the banana tree and the potatoes. So let's get started. All right, so we've got our watermelons that are doing pretty well. We've got a sugar baby that is doing all right, starting to grow a little better. And over here on the other side, we've got a Dixie Lee, which is also doing okay. Coming over here, looks like our Dixie Lee on this side is not doing so well, but the sugar baby over there is doing reasonably well. Got another Dixie Lee that shriveled up here, but I did actually plant some more Dixie Lees anticipating that this one was going to die, so they are doing okay. We've got some marigolds coming up. They are good. We'll talk about why later. We've got another sugar baby. Sugar babies are doing pretty well out here. And again, some more marigold. Coming over here to the other side, looks like our Dixie Lee here died. He's not doing too well. I've got a couple more Dixie Lees over here though that I planted and they're doing okay. Sugar baby over here is doing all right. And we'll see what is gonna happen with this sugar baby. It's barely holding on. I got another one popping out just in case though. Finally, coming over here to our last bed. We've got one sugar baby that's barely holding on, might hold on, might not. Got a Dixie Lee here that finally conked out. Got a good looking sugar baby doing all right here. And I put in a sunflower just for fun. Sunflower's doing great. So that's it for our watermelons. Some are holding on, some are doing better than others, but they're doing okay considering that we haven't been really tending to them very well. Next, here is our ice cream banana, and as you can see, it is unfurling another leaf. This is very exciting. Shows that it's still doing well here in our garden. We've got two of the older leaves that are starting to die off, and this is normal. This is what they do. And one of the initial leaves is finally just dried up, and we've got another one of the initial leaves which is just dried. We've also got some parsley that is just doing bonkers, and our cilantro, as you can see, is flowering. This is very exciting. We're going to have a lot of coriander seeds from that. The dill, may it die, didn't handle the wind too well, and so I went ahead and broke off the long growing stems. That's fine, that's great. And we've got some nice little calendula flowers. They're doing really well. I'm gonna go ahead and pick these guys, and we're gonna dry these flowers, and we're gonna use them to dye some of our soap in the fall. We'll let this one grow a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll pick that next week. But we'll keep these guys. The nice thing about calendula flowers is the pigment in their petals doesn't break down during the saponification process. And when you're in 7th grade, we'll talk about what saponification means. Finally, over here, we've got our corn that is growing pretty well. It's doing all right. And remember those potatoes that we planted in one of our recent updates? Well, here they are. They are popping up. We've got a blue potato plant. As you can see, its leaves are much bluer than the yellow and red potato plants. There's another blue one coming up over there. So they're doing okay. Go potatoes. All right. And finally, we've got a bunch of spinach that is going to start to bolt here. We can see we've got some flowers and seeds. Once that happens, the spinach leaves aren't nearly as good, so I'm just going to go ahead and harvest these guys, because why let good food go to waste, especially when grocery shelves are so barren. So we'll just collect this curly spinach leaves. And finally, here we are at the potato garden. As you can see, the potatoes are doing great. Let's take a closer look. All right, it looks like almost all the potatoes have sprouted now. Even some of these from first period, these little blues that were taking a while, they are doing okay. Some of them are doing really well. As it starts to warm up, I think we'll start to see them grow even faster. And our reds from second period are doing great. And then moving on into our yellows from sixth period, they're doing really well. So one of the things to consider about these potatoes is no flowers yet, unlike the watermelons, right? So when we think about potatoes, they do flower. They haven't flowered yet, they do flower. However, once they flower, we don't care about the flowers anymore. They don't need flowers to make potatoes, okay? Potatoes reproduce asexually, meaning a plant clones itself. The potato tubers are just cloned potatoes. So you don't need to cross-pollinate these. You don't need a bee. You just need to plant a potato in the ground, and pretty soon the roots will start cloning new potatoes. So 2 reproductive strategies we've seen today. We've got the watermelons, which reproduce with a male and a female flower, and the male's pollen has to fertilize the female. However, with the potatoes here, they just clone themselves. They're fine. They're loners. They'll make a flower. They'll make a show of it, but we don't need flowers to make new potatoes. They reproduce all by themselves, cloning themselves in their roots. All right, so that is our garden update, spring break version. Hope you guys are doing well at home. Make sure that you maintain social distancing requirements, wash your hands, enjoy the break, and we'll get started again next week.